All right, fans, welcome back. And AJ, while I share this video, I happen to know for a fact you're actually a big William Regal fan. Why don't you tell the people why you like William Regal?
All right. First of all, I apologize to the fans because speaking of William Regal, along those same lines, I'm a little tired due to the fact that I've been celebrating since Tuesday the fact that Mandy Rose has been the NXT Women's Champion for a year. I mean, when it comes to true catch-as-catch-can wrestlers, I think if you don't say William Regal and Mandy Rose in the same sentence, then you're missing out on something. That being said,
right there.
That being said, William Regal, or Lord Steven Regal, if you prefer, when I was first started watching him, is one of the great technical wrestlers of all time. Anybody who's familiar with me knows I love the British style of technical wrestling. I love the catch-as-catch-can style. I love when people work a body part, even back, not even British style, but going back to the Minnesota Wrecking Crew. The way people dissect a body part, work a body part. And William Regal is one of those guys who started off passionate as a young age. He was a wrestler at, 16 years old, wrestling in carnivals, wrestling all over the world, and very impressive.
Yeah, no, William Regal is one of the best. AJ, I'll have you kick off. I did not tell you who to look out for today, so we'll wing this a little bit unless you got a thing for Towies. But yeah, let's just see who you got as a list to kick us off.
All right, I'm looking it up right now. Let's see here, because I always get sent this great information. I've got the Mothership, I know that.
Yep.
And I've got Harry Priest to start off. And one of the people that Harry would love to see is Mick McManus, Owen Hart, Billy Robinson. You know, I wouldn't be surprised if Billy Robinson has actually happened. I don't know for sure.
Right.
Just because of the amount of time that William Regal's been wrestling.
Yeah.
Gene LaBelle, which would have been an interesting one.
Good one.
And then Nick Bockwinkel.
Oh, you son of a bitch, Harry. Because I didn't make up my list yet. I was going to make it on the fly. And I had two names. They're like, oh, I bet no one's going to have. And Nick Bockwinkel was one of them. Ooh.
Well, you would have betted wrong because Nick's on my list also. So.
Well, that's right. I'll come up with another name. Nick got booted. How about that?
The late, great Nick Bockwinkel has been thrown out of Dave's list.
Nick Bockwinkel. Rest his soul. He was a great wrestler.
My God.
You know what? I know you're a little ahead of me, but I'm going to make my list now. So at least.
You know what? While you're making your list, I'll do one more list from the Mothership here.
Okay.
I've got Albert Bettis. He's also got Owen Hart, which to me is one to watch out for.
Yep.
I think when people think of great technical wrestlers, Owen Hart's got to be one of those people. Nigel McGuinness, which to me a wonderful match that would be.
Yes.
I don't think people remember Nigel enough for the great technical wrestler he is. Bret Hart.
Oh yeah,
which is just outstanding. I know that at some point they must have had at least one match somewhere.
I don't know about that.
I don't know if they crossed at the same time. Regal may have gone to the WWE when he went to WCW. I don't know for sure. And then Shawn Michaels and Walter.
Walter, that's a great one.
I'm going to watch out for Shawn, and I'm going to watch out for Bret also.
And Owen,
and Owen.
Oh, man. Regal's wrestled so many great people. So, like, you can say a name like Ricky Steamboat. You can say Iron Anderson. Regal's wrestled him. You know, he's been in there with all of them. So, at different times.
Fact of the matter is, people don't realize he goes back to the 80s.
Yeah.
Because he started wrestling at 16 years old, you're talking about somebody who has literally been in, 4 decades of wrestling, 5 now. So
I got a name. I got some names for you. All right, here we go. William Regal. I don't think anyone's going to have this on the list.
I don't think anybody's going to have William Regal. That's his name.
Mad Dog Buzz Sawyer.
Oh wait, are we doing your actual list now?
It's my actual list. Yep.
So you're going early to make sure nobody else screws you over on.
Yeah, right.
Gotcha.
This might have happened at some point as a gimmick match. I don't think it has. A comedy style match. Regal versus Kamala.
I thought you were going to say Colt Cabana because you said comedy.
No, absolutely not. But I will go with one here that maybe someone will have. Regal versus Johnny Gargano. Because in NXT, I would say if Regal could have gone, that could have actually been a match that might have happened at one point.
Oh, absolutely.
Here's one. William Regal versus Don Morocco.
Ooh.
Don Morocco, fiery competitor.
So can I just put down The Rock?
No. I think they've wrestled, by the way, too. The Rock, rather.
Yeah. Don Morocco, for those of you who don't know, and I know most of our fans actually do know, but those who don't know, Don Morocco was called The Rock before
The Rock.
The Rock.
And finally, sticking with another former Intercontinental champion, I think would have been a great fiery match, especially in his prime. William Regal versus Tito Santana.
Oh, so you almost went with one that's going to be on my list, or at least you made me think you were going to.
Arriba!
Santana would have been fun. All right, now who do you have who's not yourself, so that you can actually, so we can talk to the fans here?
Right, I'll go producer Joe.
long time listener, producer Joe.
The man who's going for the All Atlantic Championship tonight, actually, no, that's Sakuraba. Never mind. I thought he had Shibata. So Sakuraba, another great Japanese star from back in the day. Here's a good one that a lot of people might have: Zack Sabre Jr., Okada, Timothy Thatcher.
That's a good one.
Pete Dunne, I can see that name popping up, and Jake Rule, Sheamus.
Yeah, we won't count Sheamus, but the rest of them are fantastic. Also, I'm not 100% sure that when Sheamus wasn't in FCW or in early in his career or the beginning of NXT, there's a possibility that they could have already actually had a match of some kind.
Yeah.
I mean, obviously, it would not have been on a big, widely televised because it would have been before NXT that we know now. But right. it definitely could have happened. All right, I've got Raymond Asher, and he's got Billy Robinson again. So Billy now in there twice. So let's put a little list there because I don't think Billy Robinson has ever been counted for anything.
Not twice. Not on our show.
Exactly. Jeff Ports. Who the hell's Jeff Ports?
I don't know. I'm interested. That sounds like I wonder if that's an old British wrestler.
Hey, good job pulling one over on us there. Nick Bockwinkel again. So let's put one up there for a good old NB. Who might have won the whole thing if Dave hadn't erased him from his list. Vern Gagne. So somebody's been watching AWA. And then Dick Murdoch.
Dick Murdoch. That's an interesting one. I was actually looking up Jeff Ports. And I wanted to make sure. I see it spelled with a G. And Geoffportz. He is the father of Scott McGee, and he was an English professional wrestler. So
wow,
that's somebody. McGee. Somebody goes.
Here's the funny thing is that as much as I love English wrestling, I'm more familiar with the name Scott McGee.
Yeah, me too. Too. What was that last name again? You said Dick Murdoch too, huh? That's
the Captain Redneck or Dirty Dick Murdoch.
We might get the most variety of any wrestler who in this list, I think, than anybody.
Oh, absolutely. Well, he would match with all those styles because once again, Dick Murdoch was one of those people who, he was an ass kicker, but he could wrestle and he could do comedy. So the two of them together would be magic, I think.
Yeah. I got Mike Flynn. I almost called him Mike Flynn Jr. He's got Walter. I believe that's another Walter vote.
Yeah.
Moxley. Zack Sabre Jr. once again on here. Danielson. And Pete Dunne.
Hold on 1 second. You would not believe how many people have two.
Did Pete Dunne? Is that Pete Dunne's second one too?
Pete Dunne's got two. Walter's got two. Sabre Jr. has two. Owen has two. Billy Robinson has two. Nick Bockwinkel has two. Ironically, you know who doesn't have two? Bret Hart and Shawn Michaels.
You don't need them.
Yeah. All right. Well, some numbers are about to change. Actually, Billy Robinson has three.
I love it.
No, he has three now because Jonathan Meisner says Billy Robinson. He's got Jack Briscoe, which is a great one. Wahoo McDaniel.
Wow. Nice.
Yeah. Nick Bockwinkel again.
I like 3 for Bockwinkel.
That's 3 for Bockwinkel. And here is a great one. One that I wish I would have put on mine. Ray Stevens.
I thought about Ray. I forgot it. Yeah, that's a good one.
Yeah. So we're definitely going in the right area here.
I haven't seen a Terry Funk or Dory Funk yet either. That would have been interesting.
No, absolutely. That would have been great.
All right, I got Alex Lorenzo. He's got Minoru Suzuki, Ishii. Here's another one for Pete Dunne, Tyler Bate, and R-Truth in a comedy match.
Nice. So I just realized I have a lot less lists than I thought that I did because the 2 that you sent me, only one name is actually different on the 2 lists. So I have a lot less. I only have one more and then myself to go. So
all right, let me read the next 2. All right. I got Anthony Laterra. He's got MJF, which I'm honestly surprised we haven't heard more of given the recent, interview. We got Yuta. We got Darby Allin, Danny Garcia, Walter again, and then Jake Rule. He's got Regal and Danielson versus FTR.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
So right. Walter now has taken the lead with 4, by the way.
All right. Well, we got another one here. This is Randy Osgood's list. He's got Josh Alexander, Yuta. That's a second vote for Yuta. Yeah. Orange Cassidy. Second vote coming for Danny Garcia and Hook.
Nice. Interesting mix there. Definitely some interesting names. Yeah. I've got Ariel Agbalag, and he's got Billy Robinson again.
Yeah.
We've got Fujiwara, which is great for those of you who don't know. Yoshiki Fujiwara is actually the inventor of the armbar. And then we also have Karl Gotch, which I'm sure has actually happened.
Of course.
And then
I don't know if that's happened or not. That maybe they definitely. I bet they've crossed paths.
Yeah. Well, I know that. So here's why I have a feeling that that's happened. I know that during those camps that Regal used to travel through in Europe, right, that Karl Gotch would have been in this camps at the same time period. So there's a good chance they could have worked together.
Yeah, maybe.
And then we've got Thank You and AJ does equal ratings. Doug Williams, which is a great one.
Yeah.
And here's one that I'm surprised we haven't heard yet. Jay White.
Good one. Good one.
But let me. I don't know how many more lists you have. How many more lists do you have?
Oh, was that it for that one? I have one more.
All right, so I've got myself. I'll save myself for last.
Yeah.
I do want to tell you, Walter is in the lead, tied with Billy Robinson with 4.
Yeah.
In second place, you've got Pete Dunne, and you've got Nick Bockwinkel tied at 3.
That's incredible. Well, let me say with Jake's guy. He's got Dynamite Kid.
That's a good one.
He's got Minoru Suzuki, which I think we've heard before too on here.
Yeah, but I wasn't tallying them, so
yeah, that's fine. I only heard it once. So Claudio Castagnoli, which they've actually wrestled once.
Yeah, I know they've wrestled.
And Bryan Danielson, and then the last one I'm going to put here is which was Jake's 3, but I saved it for last because it's going to affect the vote. Pete, Don't Call Me Butch Dunn.
Wow, so now we actually have 3 people tied at 4. Now my list is going to affect this.
Okay.
Because I've got Nick Bockwinkel.
Yes.
So now we have 4 people tied at 4. I have Barry Windham because I think that they would have been tremendous together. I actually also had the Dynamite Kid because I thought that would be a fun match to watch.
Yeah.
I have Chris Benoit.
Oh, yeah. We didn't hear a lot of Benoit.
Yes, that's the.
Well,
and then
they've wrestled.
They have wrestled. But
yeah,
for me, it's a dream match because it would mean Benoit was still alive. Also, I've got one more for you. And this last one is not going to affect any of the lists.
Okay.
The last one for me is I would actually like to see William Regal against Lou Thesz.
Ah, very good. All right. Who are our top 4 then, since we have 4 people?
So we got 4 people tied at 4, ironically.
Okay.
Pete Dunne,
yep.
Walter,
yes,
Billy Robinson, and Nick Bockwinkel.
Okay. I'm going to boot one of the older timers.
I can't believe you're going to do that to Pete Dunne.
I'm not doing it, Pete Dunne. I'm going to do it to Billy Robinson. Billy Robinson was a legend. And actually, I would say, honestly, I don't know if we do Billy Robinson justice. So, because there's a lot of Billy Robinson footage out there that me and you probably haven't watched. We're both familiar with Billy Robinson, but
by the way, Billy Robinson's still alive.
Well, there's a lot of stuff out there.
Yeah, he trained Shayna Baszler.
Go Billy. So let's talk about, let's go Bockwinkel, Pete Dunne, and Walter. Well, it's a dream match. Not many people remember who Bockwinkel is, but he is a former AWA world champion.
Yes.
And really, he was kind of, other than Verne Gagne, he was the man in the AWA. Is that fair to say?
Actually, Billy Robinson passed away in 2014, but he did train Shayna Baszler before that, so good for him.
So, would you say that Bockwinkel, next to Verne Gagne, was probably the top guy in the AWA?
Yeah, absolutely. He was basically Verne Gagne's right-hand man, and he was a perfect foil to Verne Gagne, because Verne Gagne was such a no-frills technical wrestler. And then even though Nick Bockwinkel was a great technical wrestler, he was flashy and almost had like that. He wasn't like Gorgeous George in the sense that he had that femininity to him, but he had that platinum blonde hair and I'm smarter than you.
Yeah. Rico probably would have been interesting. I think Rico would have been the heel probably.
It could have went either way. That's because Regal, with his blue collar upbringing, he could have came from that angle against the smug Bockwinkel, or you could have had Bockwinkel turn face and have him go up against the smug Lord Steven Regal. So it could have went either way.
Yeah. Well, this is an interesting one. This is three very different people. I don't know who you want to boot first. How about that?
For me, the one that I would like to, because I would love to have Pete Dunne versus Regal from a technical standpoint. I think that would be.
It doesn't feel main event though.
It just doesn't feel main event. It feels like something I would see on the main event.
Right. Yeah.
So
yeah, I got no problem with that. So then we're looking at Walter / Gunther, or Bockwinkel, and it's funny. Bockwinkel, at this point, his resume, for those who don't know, it is bigger than Walter's. However, I feel like Walter is this dark horse to me that, like, I could see being a world champion in WWE.
I love Walter. I think Walter would be money as a heel champion, to be honest with you.
Yeah.
However, that being said, as much as I love Walter, and this isn't just me being biased, because I do like Walter that much, Bockwinkel is a legend. He's a Hall of Famer. He held the AWA together in a time period where Hogan left and basically they could have been dead at any moment. Bockwinkel held that company together from the 70s all the way through that time period. And quite frankly, he helped build Hulkamania. That run where Hogan learned how to wrestle against Bockwinkel as the heel is the beginning of Hulkamania and helped to build who Hulk Hogan was. So I have to, in my opinion, give it to Bockwinkel.
Okay.
Because to me, he is a proven draw, whereas thus far, Gunther is not the proven draw yet.
Okay, we're gonna do it. I don't know if this is gonna be our last 5-3-1. I know Joe talked about it. I have some ideas that I might think we might keep the 5-3-1 for a certain segment. I got an idea for it. We'll see how that goes. But if this is the last 5-3-1 for a while, or at least the one as we know it, or at least the last 5-3-1 for dream matches, probably. Bockwinkel, what a way to go out.
Yeah, just a classy gentleman, and the amount of people that he affected in his career, the amount of that he drew. He was on the top as a heel, on the top as a babyface. He made people him and Zbyszko. I know a lot of people don't give Zbyszko a lot of respect, but if you want to see two people go back and forth on the mic and have a good time, watch Zbyszko versus Bockwinkel from the mid to late 80s. And you'll see the two of them just go back and forth. It's great. Or you really want to enjoy something, go back and watch Bobby Heenan as the manager
Mm.
of Nick Bockwinkel, and absolutely phenomenal.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, Bobby Heenan and Regal would have made a great pair at one point.
Oh, absolutely.
So we're done. We don't really have any other segments today. I thought it'd be a little fun today. Okay, I got something planned too. Maybe we're on the same page.
No, go ahead. Let's hear what you got.
I'm gonna talk a little crown jewel here.
That's literally what I was thinking. I was like, well, we have something happening tomorrow.
We do.
That's very interesting. And there's rumors flying.
Roman versus Logan Paul. I think Roman's keeping the title. I think that's been the guess.
Did you see the press conference today?
I have not.
The press conference has already happened today. Jake Paul is there.
Okay.
And they did go, oh, nice surprise, Jake Paul. Wow. So he is going to be in the corner of Logan Paul.
Interesting.
With the bloodline there also. So that could make things interesting also.
It could. I want to paint a scenario that I don't know that if we're all going to be a fan of. Logan Paul wins the world title. And it would create a lot of buzz. I know a lot of fans would probably not be happy, but I'm going to give you two scenarios while I could see it working. All right. One, if they have The Rock for WrestleMania, right? There's 2 nights of WrestleMania. What if the first night Rock defended the world or fought for the world title against Logan Paul? Rock wins the world title, and then in the second night loses the title back to Roman Reigns.
That could happen. That'd be a great fantasy match. Another thing that could happen is Logan Paul wins that crown jewel. Looks like a huge thing. He gets attacked on the very first night of being champion by whoever, probably the bloodline. Yeah. And Austin Theory cashes in on his ass.
I got one I want to try another one for you. I got another one I want to try for you. This one I actually like. All right. Even though, again, I want Roman to keep the belt, but I almost like this one a little bit. Logan Paul gets the title, goes on to WrestleMania. Fans hate him. He has absolute mega white heat at this point. Nobody thinks he deserves this title. Everybody's pissed. Who wins the Royal Rumble and challenges for him? But the son of Dusty Rhodes. Cody Rhodes, the guy who left and was not good enough, comes back as to win for his father the belt he never won against the outsider at the biggest stage of all.
So basically, you're talking about Mr. Tradition himself winning against the outsider. I actually love that scenario.
You do. Yeah.
I'm not sure WWE is going to be that creative with it.
I don't either. Well, I just want to address this real quick. Randy, I don't think either one of us saw Battle Riot yet. But yeah, I'll definitely be checking that out soon. But
I did watch Battle Cats last night, though, so I can talk about that.
I feel like a real monsoon. Would you stop? But yeah, see, it's funny. I think the thing is, though, it's not the same WWE. And here's the thing: Hunter is a huge fan of Dusty, as we know. Hunter loved Dusty. And that's one thing where I could kind of see this. I'm not saying it's going to happen.
I see Cody Rhodes. I don't see Rock versus Roman at WrestleMania. I don't think Rock's coming back. I think it's actually going to be Cody Rhodes versus Roman at WrestleMania. Bloodline versus Bloodline.
I think Rock has been very honest, and I think he said this is something he'd like to do.
Yeah.
But he really does not know if he can do it. Yeah, I think that it's a possibility, but I'm guessing if we don't have this figured out by January or sometime soon, maybe before that, I don't see it happening.
But let's be clear. I don't think Logan Paul wins tomorrow, and I see Cody Rhodes coming back at Rumble and facing Roman Reigns is what I see.
Right. But it is a 2-night event, so I would not be surprised if Roman did double duty and maybe had a title defense the first night too.
I would be very surprised by that also, because the way they're calling it right now, they're calling him the Unified Universal Heavyweight Champion. I don't see them splitting the belts anytime soon.
Okay. Well, that being said, any other thing got your interest? Shibata tonight, out of nowhere, is challenging for the All-Atlantic title against Orange Cassidy with Mike Tyson as the...
that was just a great moment. That to see Shibata come out and come to the ring, that was just a great moment. I popped for that. I don't know how you reacted to it, but I thought
I was just shocked. I was shocked because the guy had a brain injury, couldn't wrestle, came back to have a match where he wasn't going to take bumps in New Japan, and he ended up taking bumps and stuff. Kind of went into business for himself, is the way it was said, and he's not had a match. Now he's back in AEW, and according to Wrestling Observer, the rumor is basically that he wanted 2 matches, one against Orange Cassidy and the other against Bryan Danielson.
Yeah, so it's very interesting because I can see a match with Orange Cassidy where he doesn't have to take a lot of bumps.
He doesn't.
But how do you not take a lot of bumps with Bryan Danielson?
They could just chop the shit out of each other and put a lot of submission holds on it.
Yeah, which would be great. But just to see him live and on our TVs was absolutely fantastic.
On an episode of Rampage, it'll be interesting to see how this ends up doing. I'm trying to think if there's anything other than touch base. Sami Zayn's been killing it, so we'll see if we get anything else with him tonight.
Is there a
it's taped tonight, actually.
Yeah, it's taped. I might not even watch it. That's I hate taped shows. But is there a stupider storyline right now than Jade Cargill just not having the belt and all that crap going on with the TBS title?
Yeah, no, I'm not really into it. Plus, they're both heels, so I don't really.
And they pretty much came out and made Marina Shafir look like shit.
She's kind of reminded me of the new Lodi. She's hanging out signs and stuff like that from the old Ravens Flocks days when Lodi would have the signs and stuff like that. Yeah,
it's just stupid.
But yeah, we'll see what happens tomorrow at Crown Jewel. The money match is Logan Paul versus Roman. I am curious to see how this works out. Hopefully Roman retains the title. But we'll see you guys next week. I'll just say this. I'm pitching an idea. We'll talk about it tonight. One of my ideas. We could talk about Jeff Jarrett and AEW. I guess that was a surprise.
Yeah, absolutely. That was a nice little surprise.
Yeah, you were happy with that, huh?
Yeah, I actually, unlike a lot of people, I like Jeff Jarrett. So, also, he looks like he's in incredible shape.
Yeah.
Maybe that's why the WWE let him go. Did he fail the wellness policy?
How about? Were you who the fuck is this guy when it was Cole Carter?
I know who Cole Carter is.
I know he is too, but I didn't recognize him at the time because he's such a non-factor in the show.
Yeah, it just didn't seem like there was any real point to it. I was like, wait a minute, this is what you had us going, oh, someone who knows you well?
It reminded me of the fake Sting back in the day and how a lot of people love that angle. And I remember me and you did it because to me it was so obvious and you were so obvious that it was never Sting. Yeah.
But here's the other thing about it. Jeff Jarrett and Jay Lethal, they've actually been aligned together since the Flair last retirement match.
Absolutely.
So it's interesting to see them actually continuing to be paired together. Yeah. I think that it will help Jay Lethal. I think that Jeff Jarrett's got a character. And I like the fact that he's going to help them with international TV deals also. Yeah.
So we'll see how it goes. Yeah. I did want to get this out before we get out here. So one of my ideas coming up, possibly fans, I'd like to do at some point, maybe we'll start this next week. I'd like to pick a year, preferably maybe the 80s. I'd like to maybe do before 84. 84 is when things started to really took off, with the Hogan and WrestleMania bug. I'd like to look at 83. And I'd like to look at what the top.
I think it'd be really fun to look at 1971, right before Flair even trained. I think that'd be a great year.
So we could look at the top 5 wrestlers that were around in '83. Who some of the world champions were in AWA, WWF, NWA, and we can talk about top 5 storylines that might be happening, and just maybe top 5 matches of that year.
Randy Osga, I love your idea. 1957 was a wonderful year in Chicago wrestling scene. Thank you for chiming in with that, Randy.
All right, guys. At this debate, I think it's time to end it. It was another nice week. Producer Joe should be back next week. He's got some ideas for some segments, too. So we're going to have some stuff for you in the future.
I did hear he will be in Technicolor.
Technicolor, baby. Live.